I'm brewing a beer made from recycled water. That's water from people's showers, washing machines, and yes, toilets that has been treated at the Scottsdale water campus in Arizona and shipped across the country to me. This recycling is a process called direct potable reuse, and I can't wait to see Norm's reaction when I tell him what he's drinking. Now, it was a little odd to receive this much water in the mail, but here it all is. It's travelled 2,000 miles to get here. Now, I'll explain a little bit more about how this is made, this whole recycling water process, in a moment. But for now, let's get this ready to brew. And what I've been told is this is effectively distilled water. So we're starting from a clean slate of 0. So in Beersmith, I'm using the yellow balanced profile starting with distilled water, and that tells me exactly what water salts I need to add. These numbers are super precise. I am not. Okay, 1.8 calcium chloride, 1.4 of gypsum, 1.1 of Epsom salt, and 0.2 of regular table salt. 0.2. Close enough. Also going to be adding in 3 milliliters of lactic acid with us as well, just to balance the pH. This is a guess. We will take a measurement and check during the mash. So I need about 4.4 gallons of water. I think there's 2.5 gallons in each one of these. Let's see. Yeah, in fact, maybe just a little over. So 2.5 gallons, 10 liters. Yeah, no smell of chlorine like my tap water usually has. Won't need a Camden tablet. Right, let's heat this up, and I'm going to add in my water salts. Now, what beer am I brewing today? Well, I didn't want anything that's like a big hop fest or lots of esters. I really want to show off the malt and the water, so I'm brewing Heller's beer, which honestly is quite fine with me. I love this beer style. Now, I am going to monitor the performance of this water, how well the mash does, with a pH reading and then a pre-boil gravity reading. In fact, I think I'll do the pH reading right now. 5.4. So I'm not going to add any more lactic acid. I think this is good to go. And I'm mashing at 148 Fahrenheit or 64°C. So what is this recycled water? Typically, water is processed as indirect potable reuse. That uses something called an environmental buffer, so something like a lake or a groundwater aquifer. So wastewater is first sent to a wastewater treatment plant and then to that environmental buffer. From there, the water is treated again at a drinking water treatment plant. Direct potable reuse does away with that environmental buffer part. There's no river or reservoir involved. The Scottsdale water in Arizona have been doing this for around 3 years now, and I'm not the first person to take their water and brew beer with it. A number of commercial brewers have done the exact same thing. The treatment process is a bit beyond me, but it involves membrane ultrafiltration, reverse osmosis, and ultraviolet photolysis. And I must say a big thank you to Homebrew Challenge viewer Troy Walker and David Walby at Scottsdale Water for educating me on this process and making this brew day happen. Let's take a couple of measurements of this water. This is some tap water, so straight out of my tap. There's my water from Scottsdale Water. And first of all, let's measure the pH of these two samples. So 7.4 for the tap water and around 8.1 for the recycled water. The other thing I have here is a TDS meter, total dissolved solids, I think that means. So about 137, 138 parts per million. That's considered not too bad. How about this guy? 85 for the recycled water. Now, that did have me wondering if I got my water salts right. I'd assumed distilled water, but that would give me a reading close to 0 ppm. But Troy told me that while most dissolved solids are removed during reverse osmosis, some sodium chloride does make it through. The sulfate, bicarbonate alkalinity, calcium and whatnot, well, those have been removed. So starting with a distilled water profile to build up those does make sense. Now at the end of the mash, how was conversion? Well, I took a little sample, so let's see. 1038, and Bismuth was telling me to expect a pre-boil gravity of 1038. The mash for this beer consists of 89% German Pilsner, 9% Munich Malt, and 2% Biscuit Malt. I boiled for 30 minutes. 30 minutes? What about all that DMS from the Pilsner malt? I haven't had a problem with DMS on these 30-minute boils. Hop additions were Hersbrucker at 30 minutes and again at 10 minutes for an IBU of around 21. And for yeast, I'm using Wyeast 2308 Munich Lager, fermenting at 52 Fahrenheit or 11 Celsius. This will take about 5 weeks to ferment, condition, package, and then be ready for serving. But for you dear viewer, let's go straight to the... I was gonna have you try this Helles, but we kicked the keg because it's really good. I've got to tell you that. But fortunately, I did can some.
You know, Martin, it's rare that I've had any of your beer that I didn't really enjoy, think was first rate.
Hey, it's carbonated.
Yeah, there you go. That's what you were hoping for, right?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Step one, check.
It smells a little herbal.
Right.
So you've had it.
Right. I've
You've
had
had
it.
this beer.
I kicked the keg.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
along with the rest of the family.
All right.
So
all right.
I'm going into this knowing what it tastes like.
And overwhelmingly, people have enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm excited.
Let's give it a go.
Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, it's lovely. It's really good. Really, really good. When you were making this, what was your expectation for it? Because I know you've done Hellers before.
Yeah. I really enjoy this style.
Right.
It's a lager, so I don't always have the patience for it because
it takes longer.
it takes longer.
Yeah.
But especially in the summer, I really like to have a Helles on tap. I'm glad you enjoyed it as much as I did. I just really am happy with this beer.
Couldn't have enjoyed it more.
Cheers.
Thanks, Martin.